Alright, so here we have Bitcoin on Bybit on the 1 hour. As you can see, we are being held down by the 50 as of now. Your moving averages are all below each other. Your 100 crossed the 200 as we broke the bottom of the range. We did have a spike up, faked everybody out. Like I was saying, if we could get back into the range, we could probably get to the top and break it. I was wrong. We had a fake out and drop back below the range. So, not the best thing that we could have hoped for. But we'll find out. RSI, neutral zone, riding that signal line. Could be across to the signal line to the downside. MAC, MACD, right below that zero line. We need to get back above 19,400 in order to cross the zero line. Continue rising up. We need to stay above 19,220. So let's see here. Vol is very low. As you see, your BBWP is below the moving average, about to hit the dark blue line at the bottom. So let's go ahead and move on to the daily. I want to see something. So all your major moving averages are below each other, and they are fanned out deep in the bearish control zone below that signal line. MACD, fresh cross to the upside though, but your positive momentum is decreasing a bit. So, and your vol is heading up fast to that moving average. So, I do think the volatility is going to start picking up. We have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down days so far recently. We couldn't even make it up to the 21. So, the MACD cross looks pretty good. If we can get above that signal line, possibly we can get back into that range. But I have an alarm set at the 21 because I want to know if it breaks that 21, because if it does, I think we could get up to 25k. That's if we can break the 21. And to do that, we need to get up to the top of the range that the 21 is also at. Let's move on down back to the 4 hour. So moving averages are starting to converge far below the 200 though. So basically, now if we can get back in the range and we can break this POC point of control on the VPVR and the 100 on the 4 hour, I do think we could break the top of the range this time. You are in the bearish control zone, but we are above the signal line. Vol is very low. You are in the lower zone on the BBWP below the moving average. MACD, fresh cross to the upside. Positive momentum is starting to increase. So we got some bullish and bearish signs here. So let's go over the cases down on the 1 hour. Let's see here. So if we can get back above the 100, I do think we would enter back into the range and come up to the 200 on the 1 hour. Let's go ahead and do this. MACD, we need to get that above that zero line in order to be bullish. Need to get back above the neutral median line and back above this last high on the RSI in order to be bullish. So that's what I would be looking at. If we can break the 100, get back above that high on the RSI, cross this zero line as your vol breaks that moving average and starts to head up on the BBWP, I do think we could come back into the range. If we can break the 200, I think next stop is the POC point of control in the VPVR at 21k. But honestly, I think if we can get above this 200, see, we didn't get above the 200. We wicked up. That was letting you know that it was a fake out. I mean, you went right back below even the 100. So we need to get above the 200 on a closure, on even a 1 hour or 4 hour closure. I think we can make it up to the top of the range and possibly break it. Bearish case is that we break this purple region at 18,800. And next stop would be 18,500. But honestly, if we break 18,500, yeah, I think we would stop at 18k, but I think the next stop would be 16. So that's what I'm looking at. And that would also imply us getting into the bearish control zone, MACD, crossing that signal line to the downside, starting to print some dark red bars on the histogram as your vol starts to head up and your BBWP crosses that moving average and starts to work its way up to the midline. So let's move on to Ethereum. By the way, if you guys are liking this video so far, like and subscribe to the channel and check out the links in the description below. Also, this is the first day of the new desktop, so the videos will not be cut out anymore or lag. The interviews will not be cut out anymore or lag. And moving on from here. So the channel can go to the next level at this point. So on Ethereum, on the 1 hour, on Coinbase, we are being held down by the 100. We got a small rejection from there, but we are being held up by the 50. So RSI, neutral median zone above the signal line. MACD, fresh cross of the 0 line. Positive momentum is decreasing a bit, but we'll see. BBWP is in the lower zone above the moving average. Looks like we're heading back down, so we could get a little sideways consolidation, possibly from the 100 to the 21, something like that. We are being held up by the 50 as of now. Bullish case is that this 21 crosses this 50. And then the 50 and the 21 crossing the 50, and the 21 and the 50 coming up and crossing the 100. If that happens, I think we come all the way up to the 200 at 1145 region. That would also imply that your RSI works its way up to the bottom of the bullish control zone, and your MACD continues its upside curvature and starts to print more dark green bars on the histogram. I would like to see it get back above this last high on the histogram at 12.15. And as your volatility would head up. So I would like to see the BBWP get above that midline. Bearish case is that we break this last low at $1,000, basically $1,025. I would expect a small bounce at 1,000, but honestly, I think we would head down to 800. That would also imply Bitcoin breaking 18K or 18,500. So definitely pay attention to Bitcoin. Stay nimble, and let's move on to Solana. So here on Solana, similar story to Ethereum, being held down by the 100. Just so happens your 200 is at that diagonal trend line. POC point of control is coming in at 3450. RSI, neutral median zone. Looks like we're going to get a test of that signal line. Now, whether we cross it or continue off is going to mean a lot, because on the MACD, fresh cross of the 0 line, but you're starting to lose your downside curvature. So possibly maybe, we consolidate for a while, or, come back down, maybe wick below here. Vol is very low. As you see, your BBWP is riding that blue line. You even printed a dark blue signal. So your vol is very low. I mean, the BBWP is even below the moving average right now, printing a dark blue bar or dark blue line. So bullish case is that if we can get above this 100 at 3350, I think the next stop would be 3450, and ultimately I think we would come up to the 200 and this diagonal trend line at about 3670. Well, we'll go with 3650. If we can break that, I think we come all the way up to these last highs at 4268, and probably even the top of this red region at $44. That would also imply that we get to the bottom of the bullish control zone. MACD continue its upside curvature after maybe a test of this signal line. Start printing some dark green bars on that histogram and work our way up. As your vol would cross, or as your BBWP would cross the moving average and start to head up. So we consolidate for a little bit. As long as we hold the 21 and this last low at 3180, we have a shot. Now, if we break 3180 and the RSI gets below that signal line and the MACD crosses the 0 line again to the downside, as your vol starts to pick up, next stop would be these last lows at 2760 region. And if we break that, that's where I think we go to the depths, somewhere around $10. That'd be the next stop for me. So there's your bullish and bearish cases of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Once again, if you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Support the channel. And everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening. And I will see you tomorrow.